Do you ever get this feeling? You are putting money away every month, but your pockets always feel empty. You are making way more than you did 5 years ago, but your lifestyle doesn't actually feel any more secure. You open your banking app, stare at that number, and get this vague, heavy sense of anxiety. Listen to me, this is not your fault. But if no one warns you about what I am going to share today, that creeping anxiety is going to turn into a full-blown financial crisis in your 30s and 40s. Today, we aren't going to talk about that garbage advice like skip your morning coffee to fund your retirement. I am going to expose the hidden money traps that nobody actively warns you about. These are things that look completely normal, things that might even feel like smart financial moves, but are actually hollowing out your financial future, piece by piece. Let's start with a real-world scenario. Meet Mark. He is 35, has worked in tech for 8 years, and makes around $6,000 a month. He has a mortgage, a car payment, and takes the occasional vacation abroad. From the outside, he is doing great. But if you ask him how much liquid cash he has for a real emergency, it is probably less than $10,000. It is not that Mark isn't making money. It is that he is spending every dollar he earns on the things society told him he should be doing. This leads us to the very first trap, the one almost everyone falls into without even realizing it. It is the fundamental flaw in how our generation was taught about money. We were told, work hard, save money, buy a house, settle down. But nobody told us that this exact sequence is a trap. In your 30s, you finally have a little bit of savings. Immediately, society pressures you to buy a house. Your parents say renting is just paying someone else's mortgage. Your friends say if you don't buy now, you will be priced out forever. Your partner says owning a home brings security, so you dump your entire life savings into a down payment. Suddenly, a third or even half of your monthly income is locked into a mortgage, and your liquid cash drops to zero. I am not saying buying a house is wrong. Buying a house is fine. The problem is tying up your most critical resources into one massive asset before you have built a solid financial foundation. It is like jumping into the deep end before you actually know how to swim. And then you hit your 40s, and a whole new trap is waiting for you. By 40, your salary has gone up, but so have your expenses. The kids need tutoring, your aging parents need care, the car needs replacing, and the house needs repairs. You realize that the more you make, the more you spend, and your savings aren't growing at all. In the finance world, they call this lifestyle inflation, but I prefer a more relatable metaphor. Your income is a bucket that keeps getting bigger, but the hole at the bottom of the bucket is growing just as fast. National statistics consistently show that while people in their 40s and 50s are in their peak earning years, they also carry the highest debt ratio of any age group. On the surface, they look wealthy, but behind closed doors, their financial stress is at an all-time high. This brings us to a major myth we need to bust. Increasing your income does not automatically equal increasing your wealth. Many people dangerously assume that if they just get a big enough raise, their financial problems will vanish. But as your income goes up, your consumption desires and societal expectations rise right along with it. When you made $4,000 a month, saving $500 felt reasonable. When you make $8,000, saving $1,000 feels about right. But notice how your actual savings percentage hasn't changed. True wealth isn't about how much you make. It is about how much you keep. There is an interesting statistic from the US showing that roughly a third of lottery winners declare bankruptcy within 5 years. They suddenly got massive amounts of cash, but because they didn't have the right financial systems in place, it all disappeared. Money itself doesn't make you wealthy. How you treat money does. So, what is the right way? Before we get into specific steps, we need to talk about mindset. It is a simple shift, but many people go their whole lives without making it. You need to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like the CEO of your own small business. The employee mindset says, I trade my time for a salary and I use that salary to live. The CEO mindset asks, what resources do I have and how can I deploy them to generate more profit? When you look at your money with a CEO's mindset, you stop asking, how much did I spend this month? And start asking, is my money out there working for me? This shift is the starting point for everything. Now let's break down the specific traps of your 30s and 40s. Trap number 1, the illusion of security. In your 30s, it is easy to think a stable job means your finances are safe, but a stable job only provides a stable cash flow. not true security. Real financial security means knowing exactly how long you could survive if you lost your job tomorrow. The golden rule is having 3 to 6 months of living expenses saved up. But studies show that more than half of the working population doesn't even have enough cash to cover 2 months of expenses. This means their entire financial life is hanging by a very thin thread. And if it snaps, everything collapses. Even worse, people start treating their credit card limit as their emergency fund. A credit card is not an emergency fund. It is high-interest borrowed money. If a real crisis hits, you aren't just draining resources, you are actively accumulating debt. Trap number 2, investment anxiety. Once you hit your 30s, the noise around investing gets loud. Your coworker brags about a stock that popped. A friend doubled their money on a side project. Social media is flooded with screenshots of massive gains. You start to panic, feeling like if you don't start investing right now, you will be left behind. That anxiety leads to terrible decisions. You might start investing before you even have an emergency fund. You might take money meant for paying off debt and buy stocks. You might bet your savings on something you don't even understand just because of an insider tip. Investing is a good thing, but doing it at the wrong time and in the wrong way will destroy your finances. I have a friend who, at 32, took 3 years of savings, about $80,000, and dumped it all into a hype stock. 6 months later, it dropped nearly 60%, leaving him with about $30,000. Worse, he got laid off right at that exact moment. With no emergency fund, he was forced to sell at a massive loss just to pay his bills. 3 years of savings vanished just like that. Trap number 3, the inertia of lifestyle upgrades. This trap is especially obvious in your 40s. As your income grows, your lifestyle naturally upgrades. That is not inherently bad, but here's the catch. Upgrading your consumption is effortless, but downgrading is incredibly difficult. You get used to nice dinners on the weekend, international trips a few times a year, driving a newer car, and living in a more spacious place. Once those habits lock in, you can't easily go back. But life isn't always smooth sailing. You might change careers for a pay cut, get sick and miss work, or face unexpected layoffs. When that happens, can you stomach a downgrade in your lifestyle? Most people can't. They would rather swipe credit cards and borrow money than admit they need to cut back. This is exactly why so many high earners have incredibly fragile finances compared to lower earners. Trap number 4, the insurance illusion. So many people fall for this trap without even knowing it. People buy a ton of insurance, but often fail to actually protect themselves against their biggest financial risks. People dump thousands into whole life or investment-linked policies, thinking they are getting both protection and an investment return. In reality, the return rate on these policies is usually terrible. The liquidity is awful, and your money is locked up for years. What you actually need to prioritize is pure protection, term life insurance, and robust health insurance. These premiums are relatively low, but they protect against catastrophic risks. If you pass away unexpectedly, what will your family do? If you get a critical illness, how will you pay the hospital bills? Too many people pour their money into inefficient financial products while leaving their actual risks completely exposed. Trap number 5, retirement procrastination. This is the most common problem in your 30s and 40s. Everyone knows they should save for retirement, but everyone thinks, I'll deal with it later. In your 30s, retirement feels far away, so you wait until you have more money. In your 40s, you feel like it is too late, and your expenses are so high you don't know where the money will come from. But do you realize that time is the most valuable asset in retirement planning? Let's look at the numbers. If you start at age 30 and invest $500 a month into an index fund, returning 7% annually, you will have nearly $800,000 by age 65. But if you wait until 40 to start investing that same $500 a month at the same return rate, you will only have about $380,000 by 65. You waited 10 years and lost more than half your potential wealth. That is the power of compound interest and the brutal cost of procrastination. All right, I know this feels heavy, but simply knowing where these traps are puts you miles ahead of everyone else. Now, I want to give you a concrete, executable system. Step 1, build your financial dashboard. You need to know where your money is going. You don't have to track every single penny, but you need a clear overall picture of your finances. What is your monthly income? What are your fixed expenses? What are your flexible expenses? How much do you have in savings right now? How much debt do you have? Write these numbers down and put them somewhere you will see them every month. A lot of people are terrified to face these numbers because they are scared of an ugly truth. But you can't figure out where you are going until you clearly see where you are. Step 2. Fund your emergency buffer. Before you make any investments, save 3 to 6 months of living expenses. Put this in an account that is easy to access but not easy to accidentally spend, like a high-yield savings account or money market fund. This money isn't there to earn interest. It is there so you don't have to make desperate financial decisions when an emergency hits. With this buffer, you can stay calm under pressure and make rational choices. Step 3. Force your savings with automation. Human willpower is limited. You cannot rely on willpower every single month to decide if you are going to save. You need to make saving automatic. Set up an auto transfer so that the exact day your paycheck hits, the amount you want to save or invest moves directly to your investment accounts. This removes the temptation to spend it first. Pay yourself first. And whatever is left is what you can spend. This sequence is incredibly important. Step 4. Start dollar cost averaging. Once you have your emergency fund, you can start considering investments. For most working professionals, the simplest and most effective method is dollar cost averaging into low-fee broad market index funds or ETFs. You don't need to research individual stocks, you don't need to guess where the market is going, and you don't need to watch the daily financial news. You just need to invest a fixed amount every month and let time and compound interest work for you. There are plenty of global and local ETFs with low fees and high liquidity that are perfect for holding long-term. You can start with just $100 or $200 a month. Starting is way more important than the amount. Step 5. The annual financial checkup. At least once a year, sit down and review your financial situation. Did your income go up? Did your spending structure change? Is your insurance coverage still adequate? Do your investments need rebalancing? How is your retirement progress? Just like you get a physical checkup for your body every year, your finances need one too. Many problems are completely solvable if you catch them early, but if you never look, the price of fixing them later will be incredibly high. I know you might be sitting there feeling overwhelmed, thinking your finances are a total mess, and you have no idea where to even start. I want to tell you something. Every single person who is in a great financial position today once had a period where their finances were a total mess. No one is born knowing how to manage money, and no one escapes making financial mistakes. The real difference isn't whether you made mistakes, it is whether you eventually decided to sit down and face them seriously. Maybe that moment is right now. Financial surveys show that over 60% of people feel anxious about their financial situation, but less than 30% actually have a systematic way of managing it. That gap right there is an opportunity. The one small thing you can do today is simply log into your online banking, add up all your account balances, subtract all your debts, and figure out your net worth. Just do that. You don't need to make any decisions or change any behaviors yet. Just see clearly where you stand. For many people, just taking this single step requires massive courage because we would rather not know than face ugly numbers. But I promise you, the moment you write that number down, your journey has begun. Your 30s and 40s are the most critical financial decades of your life. Making the right decisions in these 2 decades will completely change the financial reality of the second half of your life. Stepping into these traps during this time might take years to crawl out of, but now that you know, it is never too late. You don't have to fix everything overnight. You just need to know a little more today than you did yesterday, and do a little more today than you did yesterday. The power of compounding doesn't just apply to money, it applies to knowledge and action too. If you got any value out of this video, I want you to do one thing. Take one concept you learned today and share it with someone you care about. Maybe your partner, maybe a friend, maybe a sibling. Nobody is going to actively warn us about these traps, so we have to warn each other. Financial freedom is not some impossible dream. It is a very real place you can reach step by step, and today you just took a step in the right direction.